What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rippaverse NRT. Just wanted to talk a little bit today. This is not going to be a long video by any measure. I got too hot today. I'm heat exhausted right now, so I won't be doing a long stream tonight. But I did want to talk a little bit about this. It's what I call the meta. Okay, and gamers know this term. You know exactly what it means. Well, you know what it means by gamist mentality, but what it means by like movie, comic book, and all that mentality. So the current meta, of course, is woke shit being woke, which is costing Hollywood a lot of money, and they're about to basically. I figured they'll be trying to reset this before too long. There's no way it's sustainable the way they've been doing. It's not 100% unsustainable. They will go broke faster than Nintendo with the Wii U, right? They're not going to be able to sustain it. It's the bastardization of characters. They've always done that. Like, don't get me wrong. They've always bastardized characters. It has never... Every other version of a character has been a bastardization. They've never not done that, as far as it goes, with IPs. Because they're like, oh, well, you can't turn a comic book into a movie. There's no excuse anymore. Right? You can. Sandman proved that you can turn one into, even though it has the race and sex swaps, you can still turn one into a comic book, into a movie fairly easy. So that's a lie. And we know the Lord of the Rings is about to come out. Here in just a few short, amusing ass weeks. Alright? And they are going to get... Amazon is going to get hammered worse than they've ever been. Like, the Wheel of Time crowd is not as bad as the Tolkien crowd. The comic book crowd is not as bad as the Tolkien crowd, and when it comes to shit like this, right? So, the meta is not going to work for them this time, right? You can throw around racist, sexist, and this is the meta, right? This is their go-to. So, you're sexist for not supporting us. You're racist for not supporting us. That doesn't work this time. It's not going to work this time. Because the Tolkien fans will not back down from it. They will ratio your shit. They will fucking destroy you. And you're releasing this piece of shit. And it's the most expensive, and it don't look like it, but it's the most expensive TV series ever made. So... You overpaid for this piece of shit. And a lot of what this comes from is, so a few years ago, all of the marketing directors got let go, basically. A lot of them did. And they replaced them with cheaper, fresh out of college market directors. And those market directors were all activists. So those activists then, in turn, started to try to change media, and they don't care about the money, right? They get paid. They don't care about the company's money, because they'll just move on to another one. Like, well, we like these projects, and we will get, we can get hired anywhere. But it's about the message, right? The meta is what it is. So the meta is to destroy everything that came before it and replace it with what they think is better, right? It doesn't matter if it's better or not, because the message is what is important to them, the meta. So yeah, that's really all this is more of this bullshit. And the current meta, of course, is making wokeisms, even if the movie itself is not woke. Now, I've been told that the Prey movie is not woke, or not SJW garbage from some people that is actually fairly decent. But that doesn't change my opinion on it, right? I still think it's trash. I'm not gonna watch it. It will always be trash to me, and that is the fault of the marketing. 100% the fault of the marketing, because when they marketed it as indigenous woman, woman empowerment story versus a predator. Okay, and I've said it like 15 years ago. That shit wouldn't have even mattered, right? It would have been a cool idea for a predator movie. Now it's just fucking annoying because of the marketing. So a lot of the problems with these shows fall into the marketing. If you notice, like, the Sandman wasn't marketed this way, other than, the Access Media still treated it the same way, because they got an idea and they ran with it. But it never really mattered to them. And they don't care what they call you. They don't care how they insult you. None of them really do. It's all about getting that message out, right? And if you are against that message, then you are a racist. You are a sexist. You're a homophobe. You're a transphobe. Who the fuck cares anymore? Those words are fucking meaningless, people. They are fucking meaningless. They don't mean shit coming from that side. Alright? They don't mean a goddamn thing. So, if you say something against them at all, fuck them. Like, keep fucking going, guys. Just keep fucking tearing them a new asshole on Twitter. If you get in the Twitter mob, like, what the fuck can they do? Really, nothing. And get you banned off Twitter. Make a new account if you get banned. I'm not saying go out and harass these people. I am not. But I am saying, like, if you end up on the wrong side of the mob, you got two options. You ignore them and move on, or you ridicule the shit out of them. Some of us like to see how far it'll go, like I do. Like, I'm like, I'll do it till I'm bored. Right? If they come after me for a mild take I put on the internet, I'll go with it to see how far it goes. See how bored I get with it before I stop. Predator lasted 5 days, and then I'm like, I'm removing myself from this one. I'm removing my tag from it, because it got boring. And mostly a lot of people just retweet me. But, like, just, it's not a good take to just sit there and take their shit, right? You just don't want to sit there and take their shit, for sure. This is not just this is just like random thoughts that came into my head today, because I got heat exhausted in costume. I got way too hot, which is dangerous. It is very dangerous to get overheated in one of those things, because you might not be able to get out of it in time. So this is not going to be my best video at all by any standard of the imagination. It's just me talking a little bit. I wanted to do a video today. I do it every day, so this is purely just me doing my video, letting y'all know what's up, why it was so late coming, because I got way too hot today, and it was rough. But yeah, tomorrow's will be at 9 o'clock, the same as it is every Sunday, for sure. And I don't know what time Mondays will be. I may try to do it earlier if I can. It just, what's up, hell? Yeah, I may try to do Mondays around noon, maybe. I don't know yet, but definitely. Oh man, I got so hot today it wasn't even funny, dude. I about cooked in that costume. Like, I didn't get there till 1 o'clock. It was already hot. And, I mean, it was, of course it was. But, I stayed in costume maybe 30 minutes. And I was already overheating. So it was rough. And it was inside, but they didn't have any air conditioners. So it was just as hot inside. It was not a pleasant experience. But shout out to the Dream Riders for inviting me to that. I'm just, oh my god, it was fucking hot today, guys. I could not stand it. I was in the Baby Yoda costume too, so it's extremely hot. Like, it's about 30 degrees hotter in that than it is outside of it. So yeah, it's fucking hot. And it was about 90 degrees outside. So I couldn't feel my fans going, and it was a rough time. I passed out when I got to the house. I did. Yeah, I made it. I definitely made it. But, whew. That about took me out. If I would have stayed any longer, it would have. I wouldn't have even been up to do this video tonight. Like I said, I passed out when I got home about 4 o'clock, and I slept till about 7. Just slept it off. I got the air conditioner off right now because it makes it too cold in here for me to stand. So I definitely got to regulate my temperature a little better today. But oh man, it was rough. I didn't even get my costume out of the car. Like, I left that bitch in there. Like, it's too hot for that shit. I'll get that out Monday. But yeah, it's I played Metaverses today. Right before I was getting on here. It's alright. I mean, it's Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers with Warner Brothers characters. That's all it is. You got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Ben and Jake, Steven Universe characters, Arya Stark, Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry. It's alright. If you like Smash Brothers, then it's the same thing. There's virtually no difference between them, other than the characters. Hell, it might be the only thing you see like a kind of true version of Superman anymore in, which is sad. But yeah, I wanted to do this just talking about the meta, because that's what this is. It's no longer just the message is part of it, right? Like the critical drinker keeps talking about the message, but there's a meta to it, right? And the gamer term meta, which is what you currently do to win the game, right? So our meta is the same as it's always been, our side meta is one of two things: we ignore them or we ridicule them, and our side works. Our meta works. Their meta works for them to a point, and it doesn't work for the companies, but it works for the people making these things, right? Because they fail upwards. So the current meta is obviously destroy what came before and replace it with your own, right? Because if you can destroy the past and you can wipe out the past, then the story, then whatever, is history, right? So it's the same as replacing something in history. Replacing stories is the same thing, and I'm very adamant about that. Like, Most people don't even know the actual like Grimm fairy tales anymore. They know the Disney-fied versions, right? They don't know the dark versions of them anymore, and that's sort of what's happening now. Like we're kind of seeing it happen, which is something that really none of us have been alive to see. So it's kind of fucked up and fascinating all at the same time. Like we're seeing our heroes get eroded and replaced with newer heroes or worse heroes, shitty heroes that spout the message, and we don't really know how to stop it other than ridiculing shit and making our own, right? But while making our own, yes, we also allow them to continue to control these other properties, right? And Tolkien is where we draw the line, right? Tolkien, we're not going to let them erode Tolkien's work. It doesn't matter that this show is not going to succeed. Superheroes are one thing. We can replace superheroes, right? Heroes have been replaced since the beginning of time. Gilgamesh was replaced with Hercules. Hercules was, Horus, and Horus was replaced with Hercules. Hercules was replaced with Cuchulainn, right? That's how the hero things work, right? Those were the superheroes for the old days. Yeah, I don't care about the other stuff. Like I don't give a shit about any of the other stuff. DC, Marvel, any of that shit. But we're not gonna let them get Tolkien, right? Even if they make this piece of shit, it's not going to erode what Tolkien wrote. We won't allow that to happen. Like some of us will dedicate our entire channels to, calling this shit out and making sure that it never gets a chance to do that to Tolkien. So that's one good thing, right? We're nobody is going to let that happen. That the Tolkien stories get erased because, and I imagine this is a lot like how like the Greeks and stuff did it with like Hercules and all their stories, right? And in fact, more appropriately, so you've got the Celtic gods. All right, when the Christians came, and they basically outlawed all the Celtic gods, anything that had to do with gods. But one of those stories definitely survived, and that was Cuchulainn. Okay, the story of Cuchulainn. Okay, Cuchulainn was a fucking, he was the Irish Hercules, is what he was. Okay, but his story survived because he was a demigod. He was a half-breed god. He was a superhero of the time, but his story survived to today. So does Hercules. So does all of the mythologies from the past. Right? They survive in one manner or another. Even you can't even Disneyfy like Hercules. Hercules was Disneyfied, but that does not erase the original stories, right? Like it did, like a lot of it did with like the Grimm fairy tales, right? So yeah, they're not going to be able to erase Tolkien like they will Marvel and DC and all that shit. Like fuck them. We'll let those companies die. We're not worried about the companies. The heroes will survive in our minds and in the old comics, the old movies, whatever, but fuck the companies that own them 100%. But yeah, I mean that's really it. DC's already cleaning out their shit, and they're not going to be making comics anymore because it's not making them money. I doubt that they might outsource them or something, but who the fuck cares, right? And if they turn around, don't forgive them. We got the Rippaverse coming. We got our own mythology to build, right? To build upon. We don't need them. We don't need their trash. Yeah, definitely. Me too. Hell, me too. Like I said, somebody's like, "Oh, you need the Marvel and DC." No, the fuck I don't. No, the fuck I don't. Like, you misunderstand how easy it is to stop watching that trash. Like, I don't need that. I don't have to watch those movies. Every movie I want to watch, period, is over there on my shelf. Plus 3 that I'll never watch again. That's because I got them for $1 at a thrift store. But Disney didn't get money for them. And like I've said before, I got them as a reminder to know, to remind me of what they did to Star Wars, right? I've got all 3 of the Disney trilogy sitting in my bookshelf, and no, it is purely as a reminder to never let my guard down and never trust these companies. Again, I mean, I'm done with them. 100%. Oh yeah, I've checked out Gymshark. I haven't read it yet, but I've seen like images and stuff from it, and it looks really cool. Oh, after I get Awesome 1, I may expand this channel into doing like reviews for other indie creators, for sure. Comicsgate, indie comics, stuff like that. I may expand it to do that while we're waiting, like between Awesome issues, when we run out of theories and stuff like that. I'm gonna use this channel. You know, this is the voice of the fans. It doesn't matter what we actually talk about here, other than Rippaverse itself. But that's what the Guild of Calamitous Intent is for. You know, to talk about other stuff. Love it or hate it, right? That's what that is for. These videos right here, they are never my more popular ones. Where I'm talking about what's up, Megatonic? Yeah, these are never my most popular videos, which I don't care. I'm putting them out anyway. Like, fuck them. These get eat up by the algorithm. But I'm fine with that. Like, at least it's out there, because these videos could blow up later. As far as it goes, I don't really care about that. It's just, you know, getting a video out every day to help my own personal algorithm and, you know, communicate with you guys. So, you'd be interested in what, Megatonic? There is a massive delay on me getting me saying something and getting a message from it. So, but as far as it goes, like, this is the voice of the fans. That's what this is. None of us are really big YouTubers. None of us are. Oh yeah. Definitely, man. I'm definitely going to be doing some of that stuff too. But I've got to read them first. That's the thing. Cool. Yeah. Between the Rippaverse issues, yeah, definitely. Like, I gotta find something to talk about, and I don't want this channel to be 100%, you know, hate everything. Like, I want to talk about stuff that I like too. And I know I'm gonna like Rippaverse, but I'm gonna give the other comics a chance after I do those. Right? They're secondary for me right now, unless they're really good. But yeah, I don't want to spend every moment on this thing talking about what I hate, because yeah, I know my slogan is "Hate you can trust," but that's mostly for the guild. I'm gonna print some shirts with the logo and stuff on it too. By the way, so we'll have guild shirts by Thursday anyway, that you can order. I'm gonna design those Monday. So be on the lookout for them. But yeah, as far as everything else goes, like I may print some keychains or get some hats made, something, else for the guild part. I'm not gonna monetize the Rippaverse part, but I will, or I'm not gonna make merchandise for the Rippaverse part, but I will make do stuff for the guild. So we will definitely have some stuff this week that you can order if you want to for the guild. Just let me know what y'all would be interested in before I start making stuff. Okay, I will be honest. I have not read any indie comics in a really long time. Okay, before Comicsgate was a thing, as the last time I read any indie comics. Like, indie comics were never really my thing, but I'm giving them a chance now, as far as it goes. Now that I'm back into comics. So I'm gonna look at a lot of them. If y'all got any recommendations, leave them in the Discord for sure. That y'all want me to check out, or y'all want me to review, or you want to come on here and review it with me. Either way, I'm looking for suggestions right now. So I have seen Gymshock, and I've heard of Graveyard Shift, but I haven't read either one of them. So, but. Yeah, definitely. If that's something people want, I will definitely do that. Reviewing other comic books, and I may even do some that I don't necessarily agree with, just to see how they hold up, right? Like Black Sands or something. I may read. I'm not gonna read anything that I know is 100% trash. Like Black and White, like I'm not gonna read that trash. Like fuck that, fuck the author. I don't care about that shit. But if you guys think it's good, I will check it out. And as you already know, I will read some stuff from what we would consider the other side if it's older. I won't read anything new from them. I will read some of that stuff, but yeah, I will definitely looking to reviewing that stuff. Like I don't know what all. I have not. I will fully admit that I am new to the Comicsgate stuff. Like I've listened to EVS sometimes when I catch him live on YouTube, but I've not really gotten into it because I was out of comics. I've been out of comics for years, right? Giving up the movies was easy compared to giving up the comics, but I've been out of comics since 2016 roughly. A little after that I did buy some in an auction, but I mean other than that I haven't really read any comics. I've got a few indie comics that I picked up at conventions and stuff that I haven't read. But I haven't read the full stories to them or anything, so I don't know. I don't know how good they are or not. But I'm definitely going to be looking for that stuff. Yeah. Rippaverse is my first independent. Like I'm not the one I actively went out and bought. I've bought some comic books from some indie creators at comic books, but they've never really blown up. Like they're not really Comicsgate creators. They're just people who managed to get them an indie comic made. So I've read a couple of them. Yeah, I wouldn't consider it full Comicsgate for sure, but it's definitely its own, because it's. I'll put it like this: it's actual competition for Marvel and DC. Okay, it's actual competition. Awesome is. I don't know about the others, so don't hate me for saying this right here. I don't know if Cyberfrog is an actual challenger or not. Or I know Rainbow the Brute isn't, because it's a parody. I don't count parodies, but I don't know if Cyberfrog is a legit competition. I know it looks good, but I don't know if it's legit competition right now. I have not been in that circle, so I'm new to the Comicsgate stuff. Reaper Destroyer. Okay, I have seen that on Twitter, so I'll check that out. I'll definitely check that one out. But like I said, I'm relatively new to the Comicsgate stuff, so. The only reason I know who EBS, I knew who he was because I got some of his old books from Marvel and DC, but the only reason I even started watching his videos was because of Eric. So it was actually the Schneider thing that happened in Geeks and Gamers is the first time I noticed that EBS had a channel. So there's that. But I'm getting into the stuff now. I'm checking it out, and yeah, I think I'm going to do reviews on it, because any promotion that helps on our side helps our side, right? Especially when they can't always advertise on anything else but YouTube, or Kickstarter and Indiegogo go down. What happens then, right? So I'll definitely be looking into other comics after I get Awesome #1. I'll definitely be talking about them. And if you guys get any not necessarily fan art of those characters, but if you get any cosplayers for those characters, tag me in them if you see anybody cosplaying those, because I'm interested in how somebody would do a Cyberfrog cosplay. I'm very interested in that, because I kind of want to see how it's done, or see if I can do one. Not for me, but just to see if I can do one. I know I could make one. I would need to see it either done, or see get the book and look into it, like sizing and all that stuff for it. Okay, cool. I'll take your word for it. Like I said, I'm gonna take everybody's word for it in this. Just if y'all got any recommendations for me, let me know, because like I said, I'm new to it. Comicsgate is something relatively new to me. I'm not. I've been so disenfranchised with comic books until the Rippaverse came out. It wasn't even funny, guys. I would rather. I would buy old issues, and that would be it. And I haven't bought anything since Ta-Nehisi Coates fucked over Black Panther, but just. And as you can see, I've got one 5e Dungeons and Dragons books because of what they did to that. I've got more on Roll20, but I've got the one book right here. That's the only Dungeons and Dragons books I've actually bought, other than the PDF. So Roll 20. But like I've been kind of disenfranchised with everything as far as that stuff goes. So this is a massive white pill. Rippaverse is a massive white pill for me. And sorry if I seem out of it, guys. Like I was saying earlier, I got too hot in my costume today, like way too hot, up to the point where it was heat exhaustion, and I'm just feeling like shit right now. So I'm still gotta go to work tomorrow and stuff like that. So, but I got way too hot in that thing. I knew it was going to be hot, but I didn't know that the place was not going to have air conditioning. So it was at an arcade. They were doing this. They were doing a charity event for a sick kid. That's the only reason I did it. But like I got it. I don't wear that thing during the summertime anymore because I almost died last year in it. So I don't wear it during the summer. After April, I don't wear the costume anymore until it gets October. But yeah, I wore it today because of the sick kid. That's the only reason I wore it, and I was in that thing about an hour. And like I was saying earlier, that in that costume, it goes. However hot it is outside, how humid it is, depends on how hot it is in that costume. Like it can go from 10 or 15 degrees hotter to 30 degrees hotter than it is outside of that costume. So it is extremely like dangerous to be in that for a long period of time. I was only in it for an hour today, and like I was having to take my helmet off during the event, which is something I normally don't do at these charity things, but I was having to because it was so hot. So there's that. Yeah, it was not a pleasant experience for me, and I'm aching all over for it. Like it's just not something I don't like the heat. I live in Alabama. I do not like it at all. Yeah. I got 3 bottles of water right here. You can't see them, but I got 3 bottles right here with me that I'm gonna drink throughout the night. I'm gonna pass out about 12. Like normally the time unless I just get like where I'm like, okay, it's 10:30. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. That's how it's gonna be tonight. But I normally pass out around 12 every night. So let's see. But yeah, it's as far as everything goes, like everything is going up with the channel. Check, and if you're watching this, guys, after the fact especially, check and make sure you're still subscribed if you were subscribed. My numbers have been fluctuating the past couple days. Like they'll drop to 190, back up to 191. It's just kind of floating there. Just make sure you're still subscribed if you were. So, but as far as everything goes, it's all looking up. We will have some Go to Calamitous Intent merch this week. I'll probably order mine Thursday, so I'll probably order me a shirt and a hat for sure. Okay, cool, Sam. Cool. But yeah. Okay, cool. I know how these videos go, and YouTube will eat up subs and it'll boot people out of subs just to try to throw you off. I don't know. It's something retarded YouTube does. I don't think that anybody's actually dropped from being a sub. It's just how it's looking retarded, because it always looks retarded. Yeah, 191. I'm still at 191. Earlier today it was at 190, and then it fluctuated down to 189, and then it bounced back up to 191. So I don't know what it was. But yeah, good to see you too, Sam. But yeah, we will have guild merch. I'm thinking about doing a hat for sure. What would you guys want as far as merch goes for the guild? I don't want to just make a bunch of shit and then not it. Nobody want any of it. I definitely want to take some suggestions here. Because I know the guild thing is my big night. That's the big night I have through the week. Tough decisions. Yeah. I know I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm gonna make a hat. I know I'm gonna make those two for sure. I'll probably make variants of the shirt. They're all gonna be black though. Unless somebody just requests a different. I can make it where it's different colors. I'm going to use Teesprings to start off with because that's the easiest way to go with it. Hat most likely, okay. All right. Like I was thinking about making some hats and then have like the "Hate You Can Trust" on the band there on the back. Have it embroidered on the back. I don't know though. I'll have to check into that. What's up, Eric? Yeah. I may do water bottles or something like that too. Just it's all. Once I make this, I can make them on Teesprings. Like I can make a bunch of different shit. But I was just seeing what people might want before I make anything. I may make a couple variant shirts, or like a jersey or something. I think that would be cool. Like having a guild jersey. Once I figure out how the fuck the other YouTubers do the calls, all right, then I'm gonna get that set up. But I haven't figured that out yet. I hadn't been able to ask any of them like what they use for calls. I'm using Discord right now, so I know they don't use that. It looks like they're using Zoom, but at the same time it doesn't. So I don't know. There's something they're doing that's connecting it through a code. Though it's Zoom mixed with something else, I think, but I don't know. They're supposed to be adding a way to do that on Streamlabs, but I haven't found it yet. But yeah, if you guys would be interested in the in those reviews of other Comicsgate stuff, I'll definitely do that. And if you guys are interested in any watch parties or anything like that, let me know. We'll do those as well. Which it would mostly be reaction videos, because I won't show the stuff on YouTube, but it'll be us reacting to watching it live. If y'all want to do something like that. So oh yeah, man. 100%. Like I'm gonna have them up starting this week, but once they're up, they're up. Unless I make some like exclusive shit, like for like my Patreon stuff. That would be the only way you would have to get in on it in 1 month or something like that. I make some exclusive stuff. I did that for my old one, for my old Patreon for the Pokemon D&D game. Is I had exclusive like merch you could order if you got it during that month, but other than that, I won't really be doing exclusive stuff. I'd rather for like the exclusive stuff, you guys get something unique, like 3D prints or something like that. Something you can't just go buy somewhere else or have printed. That's what I like to do for mine. So my higher tier ones like but yeah, guild shirt and hat for sure. Which logo do you guys want? There's 3 of them. There's the white one. I've got the red one it's got like the Hydra, the Decepticon, and the Cobra symbol inside of it. And then I've got the one with the skull, but this one right here. Like that's the better design to me, but I can also like remove the symbol and put any symbol there in its place. So show them. Okay, give me just a second, guys. I'll get them loaded on here. Let's see here. Yeah, give me just a second. No, I'll get them loaded on here. And then I'll also be selling like Grim merchandise from the upcoming game. Okay. There's that one. Of course, on a shirt it would be inverted from those colors. I could do all 3 of them. You know, it really doesn't matter to me as far as that goes. I might order them all 3 for myself, and I'm gonna add more later. Like these are just the current ones that I have. I'm waiting for some bad guys to come out in the Rippaverse. So once that happens, you know, I'll have some more symbols and stuff like that to add, hopefully. But yeah, I may do all. I don't really want to do the Hydra one because that one could get flagged for copyrights. You know, just I don't really want to do that one. I'm gonna come up with a custom one eventually. Like the middle one and the white one, they belong to Venture Brothers, but they're not as likely to get tagged for copyright as the Decepticon logo is. So that being said, you know, I'm going to eventually make one. The skull ones, yeah, I like the skull one myself. Like that one's my personal favorite, is the skull. So they would all have the slogan down at the bottom though, and I'll make some Grim shirts too once I can get that game going on the side if y'all want any of those. But again, you can watch the game if you want to sit back. If you don't want to play and you want to just sit back and listen, you can. I'm going to record it, but I won't be streaming it. So you'd have to be in the Discord to do that one. And if you're just going to watch, you know, then you just sit back and chill. You know, just listen to everything. I'll stream it for you guys on the Discord, like stream the board for you and everything on Discord. If y'all want to watch it, watch it and listen to it. Yeah, I'll let y'all do that. Or if y'all want to play, you can play. You know, either way. But I'm not going to stream it on here. Yeah, we'll have some guild merch this week, and this week will be the 4th week of the guild. As far as it goes, tomorrow is technically our 1 month anniversary for this. So, but the thing won't start until 9 o'clock tomorrow. So, yeah. 1 second, guys. I need to grab my water. I'm gonna have to reorganize this shit. Like how I got my setup here. Everything's too close together right now. I gotta move the desk out some. Damn it. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I really like the one with the skull. It is the best. And but yeah. I'll get a. I've got one for the Darkish Timeline. I got a merch store set up for that. I don't know if I'm going to set it up under the same merch store or just set it up under a different one yet. I haven't decided yet. Which I got some pretty cool designs on that. If you haven't seen them. Yeah, this is just another chill stream, guys. For now, let me pull up that and see which one. I'll next June I'll do us a rainbow flag one. Rainbow flag guild. And then have it say something about pandering on it. Hell, I may have one later anyway. Let me see. Teesprings. I want TeePublic. I want Teesprings. And if you guys know any other, any better places to get shirts and stuff, let me know, because Teesprings works. I've got several other shirts and for the Darkish Timeline, and it's always worked well for me. But I don't know, if there's a better place to get merch, let me know. I know a lot of people don't like the quality of the Teespring stuff, but that's on the cheaper end too. Like there is some trash stuff, but you can get some pretty neat little jerseys and stuff from them they're really good quality. But yeah, I'll pull this up here. Let's see. If it will fucking let me. No, I don't want to check out, stupid. No, god damn it. It's being a pain in the ass. So it's like not pulling the store up. View store. There we go. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna post this in the Discord, guys, instead of... Nope, don't want to go there. Get out of that. General, yeah, here we go. There we go. Alright, my Teespring store is there now. But yeah, I'll get the guild shirts added Monday, and then we will have those. I may do a separate store for this though. But it all depends on like what fucking thing you order, how good the quality is, so I'll set up. I don't know which shirts are the best on there. There's one of them that's really good. It doesn't bleed. It doesn't break off. I've had one of those shirts for 2 years now, so. And they do make hats and stuff on there. I'll check into all that, but yeah. As far as everything goes, like, is going. Trying to think of something else to talk about, but like I said, I'm exhausted. What is meta? No, okay, so no. What I was talking about with the meta. Okay, so you know how like the video game term is like the meta, or the card game term is the meta. So people play to the meta, usually, and it's a cheap way to win. Is what it is, but it's like an understanding that everybody involved in a project has. So I was talking earlier in the stream about how Hollywood has basically have a meta set up for all their movies, and the Critical Drinker, like, he calls it the message, right? So that was just kind of what I was talking about. Is like the meta for everything, how everything is set up, and it's all set up between how it's all everything seems woke because it is, but it's like just that's the Hollywood meta right now. I'm sorry, I'm not really explaining myself very well right now. I overheated today, and I was in costume, and I'm just not feeling good. So I'll probably have to re-explain myself in a future video for that. But the meta is just... Okay, so like every company, seemingly all at the same time, fired all of their marketing executives, and or they all retired, either way. And then a bunch of kids from college took those jobs at a much cheaper rate, seemingly all at the same time. Right? As it explains the quick invasion of all of our fandoms. Right? It's like a bunch of old people retired, a bunch of young kids took their place, and a bunch of young kids convinced the people that were in charge that this is the way to go. This is the future. This is what the kids want. And that's what everybody markets to, right? It doesn't matter what kind of movie it is. It's all marketed towards kids or teenagers, right? It's just marketed towards it. Let's see. I have a movie you should check out. It's called Day Shift with Jamie Foxx. Okay, yeah, I'll watch a Jamie Foxx movie all day long. But yeah, so that's just kind of what I'm talking about. Like, so there's going to be a gender swap in it. That's part of the meta, right? There's going to be a race swap. There's going to be a sex swap. The sexual orientation swap, right? A tokenization. There's always going to be a tokenization in a movie. Now, especially one that has an IP. Nothing gets made that doesn't belong to an existing IP now, just about. It has to belong to something else, as far as that goes. Most of the time, they will not take a chance on something that isn't related to an IP. They'll throw that script in the trash in a heartbeat if it's not an amazing fucking script. But anything that belongs to an existing IP can get made, even if it has nothing to do with it. Like the Rings of Power, right? The only reason it exists is because it belongs to an IP. They couldn't have sold it otherwise. And is almost like they want to tell their own story, but they have to use these IPs to do it. So that's part of the meta. So if I ever bring up the meta, I'm talking about the overarching, not just the message, like the Critical Drinker is, but I'm talking about the overarching everything that has to do with it. You'll hear me mention meta plot a lot if I'm talking about D&D or something like that. You'll hear me say the meta plot, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in real life here. It's just the current meta that's going on. So. Okay. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll check it out for sure. What's it on Netflix? Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. What's it on? I'll definitely check it out. I like a good Jamie Foxx movie. But yeah, so it's yeah. I'm gonna do a series of videos about what, just expanding on the meta, what you know, all that stuff, with the meta versus plot, or the meta versus, you know, whatever, like what they're prioritizing and they think is a winning strategy. Okay, Netflix. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. I'll probably download it tonight and watch it tomorrow while I'm working, or listen to it tomorrow, I should say, while I'm working. Cause I probably won't get to it tonight, but as soon as which we're about, what, 2 weeks away from having the Rippaverse in our hands too. So let's see. Oh great, Lock and Key got another season. Yay. Goddamn, Riverdale still going? Damn, CW. Damn. The fuck's wrong with them? Alright, yeah, I got it downloaded, so I'll check it out tomorrow for sure. Um, I may do a review of it tomorrow. That may be what I do. I would a lot rather review things I like instead of reviewing things I hate. I'll talk shit about things I hate all day, but I'm not going to review them because most of the time I'm not going to watch them. But definitely I'll review things I like for sure, or at least things I thought I would like. Like I want to do one on the Magicians because that's one of my favorite shows. But a lot of that is like they talk like real people do. That like they don't feel like character types. They feel like real people. As far as the Magicians go, that's what I like about it. But oh my god. I don't know what the nice guy is. I'm going through Netflix now, seeing what I might like. But yeah, if y'all have any kind of anything y'all want me to check out or want me to review, drop it in the Discord for sure. I'll definitely check it out. Have you seen The Gray Man? With what's his fucking name? It's pretty good. Ugh. Yeah, I gotta do something to fill some content, so might as well review things or theorize on things that I like. Like, I tried to watch First Kill, but I'm like, ugh, it's fucking terrible. Oh yeah, I don't watch fucking Chris Evans. I will watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's about as far as it goes with me watching anything with him in it. Yeah, as far as it goes with me watching fuck Chris Evans. Piece of shit. I wish I could say the same about Mark Hamill, but he's in so much shit that I like. Even if it's just as a voice actor or something like that. Like, you can't really get away from Mark Hamill. You can actually actively get away from Chris Evans. What do I think they'll be worth the day of delivery? They're going to be about the same for a little while. Just to tell you the truth, they're not going to go up. I mean, you could probably put them on eBay for $50 a piece and sell them, or you could probably double your price on them if you got multiple copies of them. You could probably put them on eBay or Amazon and double that price easily. Get $75 easily. $70. something like that. I mean, very easily they could double. But as far as actual worth goes, it'll be a little while before they're worth anything. Cover D is going to be the most valuable. A and B are going to be worth about the same when it comes down to it. I personally think that B will be in the long run. B will be the most valuable one out of the two. Definitely B will be because, like I said, A's the New 52 style cover where they've got the character on the front posing, and then B is very much the iconic classic type cover. So the iconic one is normally the most wanted, and that one has Yara on it. It's also the first appearance of Yara and Asum, so probably going to end up being worth more. But the D cover, whatever the fuck the D cover is, right, that one is going to be the most valuable one just because it's so rare. We don't even know what it looks like yet, but it's probably going to be the most valuable for sure. But then again, it could. The D cover could be it could just be valuable because of how rare it is, while A and B could continue to grow in popularity, and then they could still be the most coveted ones. It all depends on what D looks like, and the style they went with it. So it's about as far as I can tell you on that. I don't know for sure, but like I said, probably day of release, they're probably once we get the books in hand, they'll probably double on eBay. If you want a A or B cover, you'll probably have to go to eBay or somebody. There's somebody out there that has bought multiple covers, right? Multiple versions of each one of them. I'm sure there's a few that have just to sell them later. Like I only bought a B cover. I'm gonna read it one time, and I'm gonna store it, and then I'm gonna buy a C cover. So I'll buy a C cover as my reader issue, but I'm gonna read it one time just because I have to for this channel. But I'm never gonna sell it, and I'm never gonna get it graded or anything. That is my copy. You intend to sell A and B on eBay? Okay, well, yeah. Like I said, you could probably put both of them on there for maybe you probably get up double your price easily on them. Eventually, like I said, it may not go right away, but there's definitely somebody willing to pay for it. Especially with these books. Okay, so this is also the jump start to the universe. It's the first appearance of a bunch of characters. And people who buy comic books, they think that issue number 1 is worth something. Yes and no. It all depends on what's going on in that issue. So, like, they will go back and they will buy... There's a misconception that all number 1 issues are worth something. And they're not. If like say he does Yara number 1, okay, we'll use this as an example, and no new characters are introduced in that book. If there's no new first appearances, I mean he just recycles characters from the other stories, then Yara number 1 will not be worth as much as Asum number 1. But say he does Alpha Core number 1, and he introduces a whole bunch of new characters that are popular, then Alpha Core number 1 will be worth more than Yara will, right? And this is just pure speculation, but just judging by the way that how comic books gain value, right? So It's always about if the character is popular, how long the character has been popular, if the book is rare or not, and if it's the introduction to the character is always worth more than just an issue number 1. The new Teen Titans number 2 is worth more than the new Teen Titans number 1 because it introduces Deathstroke, right? So it's the first appearance of Deathstroke the Terminator. Nobody gave a fuck about Grant Wilson being introduced in number 1. So number 2 is worth more just because of the introduction. Same goes with any comic book, or really, if it's a popular character. If you've got the first appearance of, if you had the first appearance of the X-Force with Deadpool, Cable, and Domino all together when Deadpool 2 came out, you could have made some money. The first appearance of the Punisher is always worth money, right? The death of Gwen Stacy is worth a little bit. But it's usually the introduction or the death issues that are worth the most as far as they go. So the fact that this is introducing so many new characters, yes, the awesome number 1 will be worth some money eventually. But yeah, like I said, it's all about what somebody's willing to pay for it, and there is always somebody that's going to be willing to pay double the price just to make sure that they have a copy of it. So you'll probably be able to double your price, and there's going to be a lot of people trying it, I can imagine, trying to get more than what it's worth right now. But what I would do, and honestly, if I were you, what I would do is I would get those two, or if you're not going to read them, if you intend to sell them, get them graded. Okay, pay that money to get them graded. Okay, if you've got a Rippaverse website is under maintenance, okay, but if you know somebody who runs a comic book store or somebody who can get stuff graded for you, get those books graded. And I'm saying CGC graded. Okay. Especially if it's a signed copy, definitely get it graded. But the graded issues for this book, these may be the only books that you will ever see that get a 10.0 rating after being graded, because of the quality of the paper, the quality of the book itself. You may actually be able to get a 10.0, which is impossible for anything else. Like if you have a 2.0 Spider-Man, that's still a $50,000 issue. But a lot of them, if it's not a 9.8, you don't want it. But definitely get that book graded, and you can charge what you want to for it, basically. So if you intend to sell them, I would go that route. I would wait. I would send them to the CGC, pay whatever it takes, and it costs a little bit to get them graded. And it costs you $50 or $60 to get them graded. But once you get them graded, okay, so that book is instantly worth at least the grading price. So you've already made it where it's $60. If the value of the comic ever goes down, then it's still worth the grading cost at least. So that's $50 or $60. But this comic book's just gonna go up. So I would get it graded 100%. But definitely that is the way to go if you want to sell it in the future. I wouldn't sell it immediately. I'd hold on to it just a little while and send it to the CGC. Don't send it to any of the others, any of the other graders. Don't waste your time with them. They don't grade properly. They'll lose your books, all kind of stuff, man. Definitely get those books graded. I'm gonna do that with mine after I read it and I get a C copy. I'm gonna get mine graded. I'll probably or I'll buy one that's graded online at some point. Because that's the best advice I can give you with any of them, is get the book graded. Get it turned into a slab and hold on to that bitch. Cause once it's graded, its value can't get damaged. It can't get so its value may drop if the comic book just isn't worth anything, which is a lot of the cases with a lot of cheaper comics. Like don't go get any indie book graded, but like definitely, like Rippaverse is going to be worth something. So get that graded, get it protected, and that way you don't have to worry about it, right? Because it'll never drop in actual value. It'll never get damaged. You never have to worry about it again if you get it graded. I'm definitely getting my B cover graded for sure. Like 100% getting that graded. I got a buddy who owns a comic book store. He sends comic books off to the CGC. I just pay him to do it, and he sends it off and then gets it back and gives me the book back once it gets done in about 6 months when they get done with it. But yeah, hell, I may set something up to where my subs, like my patron people can send stuff off to the CGC. Like I may set that up if I can get some patrons and stuff going, because you got to pay for it every year, and it's not cheap. But if I can get some patrons set up, I'll definitely like set up a thing where my patrons can send their books off. Dude, that may be the first thing I set up once I get enough money. Just so you guys can send your books off to have them graded. Yeah. We'll have 3 issues by next year. According to Eric, well, he's trying to do 3 campaigns by the end of the year. So, and this one's almost half over. Like, I'm gonna try to get me a C cover this week. But like I said, if that's something y'all want me to do, if y'all will sign up for my Patreon and stuff, or y'all start donating and stuff like that, get those up where I can pay for it, I will definitely get a CGC thing set up for us so that we can send off books. We just got to send them off in bulk, guys. So we can send them all one at a time, but it's just shipping is expensive as hell. But yeah, we can definitely do that. If that's something y'all be interested in, getting books graded. And I've got a buddy who can do certificates of authentication. He can do that, and if you're ever at a con with where I'm at and he's there, we can get, and say Eric happens to be there too, we can get it certified, right? Which makes it even more valuable. Because unless Eric ships with a certificate of authentication with his signature, but yeah, definitely I might look into that, getting us a CGC thing set up. And Oh yeah, definitely. Like I say, I may set that up about the beginning of the year because you have to pay for it by the year to do it. You don't have the option to pay for it by the month. So I may get that done, get that set up by the end of the year. That way we're ready for next year. And then we just, you'd basically have to. I basically give you a code that you send it in under. You mail it in to them, and then that's how it would work. Is you just grade it. You can pay for your own, but I don't recommend it unless you run like a comic book store or something. It's not worth it unless you're sending in a lot of them to pay for it yourself. That's why I don't do it now, because like I said, I got a buddy I can send mine with, but like I said, I'll definitely get that set up in the future once my channel grows a little bit more. Trying to think of other stuff I can do for you guys to help y'all out, because I know a lot of you guys are new to collecting comics too, and there's a lot of stuff that people don't know or they don't tell you about collecting comics, and I'm gonna be as transparent as I can with being a collector, cause I bought a few slabs from other people, and you never really can. If you don't sell them to the right people, you get ripped off very easily with them. As far as like comic book collecting goes, and all of that, I don't have any of my slabs anymore. I sold them. Would I grade a signed copy? Would I grade a signed copy before A or B? Yes, 100%. But the thing is that Eric is still relatively new to it, as far as that goes. So having it, they have to be able to authenticate the signature before they'll give it a gold label. And if Eric's is not shipping these with with certificates of authentication, then they're not going to be able to authenticate it because he's new to it. You definitely want to get that certificate before you do that, because you got to ship that with it. If they've got one, like if they know that that's his signature, right? And what it is, they're going to get an influx of books with the same signature on them, but they're not going to know, because it's an indie creator. They're not going to know. They're not going to have his signature on file until they get in touch with him, or unless you, like, if you get it signed at a convention and you get a picture with him, that's one way to authenticate it, right? But because he's signing it and sending it, I would send A or B if they're not signed copies before I would send the signature. At least on the first one, at least until his signature gets out there more, right? That's just how I would do it. I think there's more to the Alpha Core than just those three. So yeah, I think there's like a whole group of the Alpha Core. I could be wrong, but I just don't think it's just those three. I think those three are just the ones that showed up. There may be 7 of them, 7, 8 of them. Could be smaller, like army guys that help them. You never know. Yeah, I do think they get replaced a lot. They're probably like have like the highest. They're a lot of them are probably like red shirts from Star Trek. You know, they die every episode. If there's more than those three, if it's just those three, then yeah, probably Visor Guy Supreme is going to get offed pretty early, I think. But yeah, like I said, covers A, B, and D will be worth the most out of it. C is not going to be worth near as much. It's the third print basically, or it's the second print. What it would be. But D is going to be the valuable one because it's rare. You have to be one of his Ultramax on his website to get. That's what they're updating right now. That's why the Rippaverse side is being updated. I bet you they're adding the D cover for the Ultramax. Because they got to give them some kind of code or something like that if they're Ultramax. Definitely something to look into in the future if you're not already an Ultramax. You definitely want to get that D cover in the future, because that's gonna be the most valuable one, as long as it looks good, if it looks amazing, like but the Yara cover is going to be, I think that one's going to blow way past the other two for sure. Just because of the way it looks. It also has two of the main characters that get introduced on the cover. So first appearance of Yara, first appearance of Isom, Darren Fontano, the Alpha Core, and so on. First appearance of every character in that. So, hell, it may even be a first appearance of Dokuman if he shows up like at the end or something like that. I don't think he will though. I think he'll show up later. But definitely, if you got the cards, get the book. Like during the next campaign, when the book for the cards get released, definitely. Yeah, Yara seems like a more seasoned hero, or crazy ex-girlfriend. We'll see. We will see. But yeah. As far as everything goes, like it's going to be. I can't wait myself to actually find out about these characters and see what see what's going on. Because I'm looking forward to it, and I've been out of the game for a little while. Like, quit reading them, quit looking at them, and I even quit reading the ones I have. Like, I've got an entire short box that I have not even opened yet. I haven't even looked at those books yet. I was so sickened by Marvel and DC, what they did, and I could not even bear it. Like, I've got the books that I read all the time, like my Sandman books or my Black Panther books right here. Those are some stories that I really enjoy. But Marvel 1602, like, it's a very interesting like Elseworld, but it's just an alternate universe. That's all it is. It takes place in 1602, you know, in the year 1602. But yeah, I've got the books that I read, and I've got the ones that I reread, and then I've got a whole short box that I haven't even opened, haven't looked at, won't look at them, just because I know what's in them. It's not worth reading to me. So yeah. But maybe I will be feeling better tomorrow when I do the stream at 9 o'clock. I'll go live at 9 p.m. tomorrow. I won't have a chance to go any earlier than that. Maybe I'll be feeling better tomorrow, because like I said, I overheated today, and I was in that costume for way too long, and it was just an hour, but there was no air conditioning in the place. It was almost hotter inside than it was outside. But being in the sunlight with that costume on just cooks me, right? And for those of you that don't know, I'm talking about my Baby Yoda cosplay, the Grogu cosplay that I do. I do that one is for the kids. I do that one. It's a competition winner, but I do that one for the kids, especially like sick kids. I go to. Yeah. He's definitely going for the New 52, New 52, and the Rebirth art styles. Definitely. I'm glad he's not going Marvel though, with the shitty Marvel art style. Like, my God, it looks like fucking Steven Universe. Yeah. Like, I do some charity events where I dress up, and just to go entertain the kids, and it's some of them have cancer, some of them other things wrong with them. So I'll do that, and I will cook myself alive in that costume for at least an hour. During the summer I can't make it more than an hour because it's about 130 degrees in that costume, and that's with fans. So it's hot. It gets hard to breathe. I was having to take my helmet off during the event, which is something. Normally I'm cooler if I keep the helmet on because I've got a fan blowing up into it, but it was just blowing hot air around. It wasn't even doing anything today. Normally I'll have at least, like, if there's an air conditioner on, at least in the building, like, I can do it and not die for a little while. Once my fans go off, though, it's over. Like, I have to get out of that thing. And the hotter it is, the harder it is on those fans. Like, they'll just stop after like 30 minutes or an hour. They'll overpower themselves. They're little neck fans. They're not really powerful. But like, it was just circulating hot air through the thing, and it was rough, guys. Like having a heater on in the middle of summer. Oh yeah. I still see them every year. Like when I go up there, and yeah, that's one of my favorite stories to tell. I've got pictures on my Facebook of me and the little girl, and then 2 years later, another picture of me and the little girl. Because I didn't get to see them the year after that because I was wearing my Deathstroke costume, so I couldn't see anything. I literally couldn't see, so I never ran into them there, and they didn't know what I was wearing. Then the next year, her sister hit me up, and she's like, "Hey, she really wants to see you. Are you going to be there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'm wearing blue. Like, you can't miss me. I'm wearing blue, and I'm holding a big red spear." And yeah, but that's definitely one of my favorite convention stories. Like, I would do that one all over again. Just tear every muscle in my body just to help that little girl up. She's a sweetheart. But yeah, I run into them about every year at the same convention. Uh, that I go. I haven't gone the past 2 years. I haven't gone since 2020. So that little girl can drive now. I mean, that's how long it's been. But yeah, I still keep up with them on Facebook and stuff though. 100%. That's one of my favorite stories. I got another one where I was at Six Flags and I wasn't in costume, but I was on they got a wooden roller coaster, and I was on it, and they had this they set this little kid next to me. Well, the bar closed on my chest, and it wouldn't go any further. So the kid was like there, and he was like that far from the bar, right? So I'm like, hey guys, this kid is loose, right? He's gonna fly out of this thing. So I did the only thing I could do, and I was holding him to the seat the whole time, right, just to make sure that he didn't go flying out. I was physically just holding him down with all that force just going up against my arm, man. It fucked me up too. But I know that kid was scared to death. That one was. I was just making sure that the kid didn't fly out and get hurt or dead or something. I would have never forgave myself if that happened. So, like, and then the little girl in front of me on the escalator, I had to. Like, I kept thinking about the joke from Mallrats, right, where a kid gets mangled on the escalator every year. How many kids get mangled on the escalator every year? And I'm like, shit. Okay. All right, bend down, help her up, got her dress free, and didn't tear anything. Her mom was right in front of her, So I'm like, okay, here we go. We were going up the escalator that time, so I didn't want her to. I mean, she was a little girl too. I mean, small, like in size, not age. She's actually older than I thought she was. But I think she was like 12 at the time, but she looked like she was 6. And I literally just got her dress free, got her free, and lifted her up when we got to the top of the escalator. And man, shit, that fucking sucked when we got to the top though. And then her sister put it on Facebook, picture of me and the little girl. But I was hurting so bad when I took a picture that I was leaning forward like this right here as far as I could in the armor. I couldn't even hold myself up very easily, and I was just like giving it like a weak thumbs up because I'd pulled every muscle in my body trying to stand back up. League of Legends guy. Yeah. Like I said, Yara's something. Yara is something. Crazy ex-girlfriend. Cough, cough. Until proven differently. But anyway, it is about 10:40. I'm exhausted, guys. I can barely function right now. I'm gonna go get ready for bed because I gotta be up in the morning, and I'll be back around 9 tomorrow night, and I'll go live then. Hopefully, I'm feeling better. Like I said, that heat got to me. It was worth it, but the heat got to me today. I'm never not going to stream unless it's an emergency or something like that. So if I don't show up, assume the worst. Yeah, I will definitely post on Facebook or on or I'll post on Twitter or something if something happens, and I can't make it Twitter or the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you're welcome to join it, guys. You don't have to pay to get into the Discord or anything. You're welcome to be a part of it. If you want to come on here and chat with me, you're welcome to anytime that I am live. I don't mind at all, guys. As long as I'm not in the middle of a review or something like that, just if I'm just sitting here bullshitting, you guys are always welcome to pop into the Discord and have a conversation with me, if you want. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take off. I will be around tomorrow at 9, and until then, rock out and peace out, guys.